And now this morning, we officially have a new superintendent at San Diego Unified.
That's right. Dr. Lamont Jackson will now lead the state's second largest school district. And Dr. Jackson is joining us live right now. Welcome and congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you so much. So appreciate you having me this morning.
Well, tell us what you have been doing over the past year here while filling the role for Cindy Martin, who went to D.C., of course, that you think may have helped you secure this permanent role.
Well, Eric, thank you. And I think for the most part, we have really focused on ensuring that our students had a safe and healthy environment to return to school. And we have invested over $26 million in mitigation strategies to support our students and our staff to return to in-person learning, really focused on expanding universal TK, making sure that we support our students over the summer with our Level Up Summer of Learning and Joy. So those are just a few things, Eric, that we've been doing over the last year that have supported our district and our students.
And Superintendent Jackson, there's been a lot of talk, of course, as students are back to school about masks versus no masks. And San Diego Unified will not have them coming off officially until April 4th. Now, that's 3 weeks after the date the governor said it'd be okay. So tell us what the thought process is in waiting to have the masks come off.
Thank you, Nada. We are cautiously optimistic that, as we put our data out there, we really were following the CDC and the CDPA. And what they were saying is, highly recommended, but look at your local conditions. And as our case rates remained high, we believe we made a decision to remove the mask when our conditions, when the case rates are lower. And we believe just after spring break, the cases are going to be lower. We are going to push out, as we did over the winter, home test kits to all of our students and all of our staff members. And our real focus is making sure that our case rates and the spread is not happening on our schools. And our investments, our staff have done a great job keeping everyone healthy and safe. And we want to make sure we continue to do that. And so we're asking just for a couple of weeks to keep the mask on indoors. We've removed the mask mandate for outdoors, and we believe that this is going to be a move in the right direction. So cautiously optimistic and looking forward to the day after spring break for anyone questioning why we're continuing our mask mandate.
Dr. Jackson, San Diego Unified was one of the only districts to shut down in-person classes all of last school year. So what have you been doing this year? What will you continue to do to make up for that learning loss that happened during that time that it impacted so many kids?
Yeah, I think there was a great deal of learning gain, first and foremost. I think for us, the pandemic allowed us to ensure that every student had a device, that they could access learning at home. Certainly, students had to persevere and sustain some of the challenges of studying at home. And once they returned, we put in a literacy acceleration plan for all of our learners to really extend their learning, increase the touch points for guided reading at many of our schools so that we could increase some of the learning to push back against some of the questions around learning loss.
And Dr. Jackson, our Chris Groh has been covering, the official appointment now, your position as superintendent. So he does have a question for you. He wants to ask you, how do you sort through the politics of COVID to do what's best for students and teachers?
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. As I've said, I'm not in the business of politics. I'm in the business of education. And all of my colleagues are steadfast in that commitment to focus on our students. And I've said this, we're not always going to agree, but one of the things I think we can all agree on is we want the best for our children. We want them prepared for the college and the career of their choice. And that's what we're going to stay focused on. And we're going to collaborate with our community, with our labor groups, and more importantly, with our students to make sure that we're designing an academic program that meets their needs as they pursue their dreams. That's what we are focused on.
Dr. Jackson, do you foresee schools remaining open, even with potential of new variants coming here? Is that the goal of the district?
100%. And as we came out of the winter, our commitment was really keeping our doors open. And I have to say, we should give a tremendous shout out to all of our staff members, our district staff. When we had challenges with substitute visiting teachers, our district staff went out, they showed up in classrooms. We were present to make sure that our doors stayed open. And we are continuing to work with our UCSD professionals to make sure that we're tracking any new variants and making sure that we maintain our mitigation strategies. This is a multi-pronged approach. So even though the mask may be removed, we still have ventilation systems, we still have air filters, we're still encouraging hand washing and distancing when possible. So all of these things together are going to continue to keep our students and our staff healthy and safe, and make sure that we are not contributing to any community spread out there that may happen.
We got to run here, Dr. Jackson, so thanks for your time. But real quick, substitute teachers, how are we doing on that? Are you still hiring?
We are doing great on visiting teachers, but we are hiring,
okay.
And we are paying the highest rates for visiting teachers in the county. So please, San Diego Unified, come on over, show up for our kids, show up for our staff, show up for our community.
There you go.
Let's work together and do this thing going forward.
All right, Dr. Jackson, thank you so much for your time this morning, and congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Dr. Jackson.
Thank you so much.